water. All your cash, put it one place in a Ziploc bag if you can, and make sure that you stock it in that suitcase that I tell you about. Get all your medications that you need, first aid kit, medication, can opener, because you need non-perishable items such as your tin things. Gather up on those things if you need to ensure that the babies, in particularly if you have young babies, are secure. That's gonna be very difficult because it's hard to move with water and wind with young baby. But as much as you possibly can, if you can practice that African tie, or Africans tie their kids to them, that would be good, because it enables you to move much quicker than trying to hold a baby in your hand and trying to move at the same time. So if you can YouTube it from now and learn how to tie your baby onto you if you have young baby, that would be excellent. Very, very excellent for you. Make sure that the baby's food also is packed away. That if you need to reach it and reach it quickly, you do that. Charge your phones to the fullest. Do as little talking as you can right now and charge your phone as much as is possible. Having charged your phone, if you have a backup phone, charge it also, even if you don't have a SIM in it right now. But at least you can switch over if you need to switch over. So these are some of the things. Also, if you have a radio or you don't have one, and you can get one of those portable radios that works with battery, that would be good, right? You need a range of pliers. Make sure that your breaker, once the rain start to fall, and if you realize that you start to have flooding, if you don't have flooding, then that's okay. But if you start to have any form of flooding, turn off all the breakers in the house right away, because you don't want water to go into the outlet and you get electrocuted, right?
Hold on, Joshua. Hold on. Yeah, yes. Yeah, I'm coming to that. One of the things that I see, Joshua, is that people tend to get trapped in their cars going through high waters.
Right.
What happens if you get trapped in a car and your windows are up? What are you to do? Because I've seen that regularly in recent times. People going through waters, the car shut off in the water. What do they do?
The quickest thing to do is to try and exit as much as is possible. It's going to be difficult trying to open that door. So you have to have some form of braking tool within the car. Something very sharp, right? Preferably a hammer would be helpful. And the easiest one to break is the windshield. The side windows are harder to break, right? Or the back one. Right. In addition to that, before we even get to the car, as a family, if it's more than one of you in the house, you design an evacuation plan beforehand. So you determine, okay, if there's water at the front door, we're gonna exit at the back. If water is at both doors, then we might have to use the window. Or if we can't go through the window, which of the door that we're going to use in the event that there's less water on one. I would suggest that you use the one that is easier to exit from. In addition to that, you also want to predetermine where is your escape route. So if this route is blocked, then we may have to use that route. And if that one is blocked, we may have to use this route. In addition to that, for the night, everybody may have to sleep in one room, so that if you have to leave quickly, you don't have to be going from room to be looking for anyone, right? Everybody is in the same area. So when we say get up and we have to move now, then everybody knows that, oh, all right, we have to just load up the car. So we don't have to be grabbing anything because everything was already in the vehicle, right?
Hold on, let us try and see if we can take one or two other calls.
Sure.
Suzette Christian? Suzette? Suzette? No. Open your microphone, my dear sister, please. We're waiting for you. We'll wait for you. Without you, the mountains too high and the valley. Well, the Prime Minister met today with the leader of the opposition and briefed him about the disaster preparedness. Why the disaster brought the leaders together. Very interesting, eh? are hearing that we are going to be in for a very, very trying time. Joshua is here and he's providing us some good information as to how we can prepare, some of the things that we should not do, explaining it all to us. We are joined also by the father, Rusty. Good evening, Rusty. How you doing?
Yes, I am gonna give thanks, you know.
Joshua is with me. What's happening?
Well, I can say that I am prepared to any extent of the word. But I am somewhat watchful, and for me it's a wait and see game, you know. Well, it's not a game, but I just use that term. And I am not, however, advising anybody that they do it the way I do it the way or you're supposed to do it, and you know, preparing. You know, me personally, I don't really have no preparation for do more than wait and see if the building when me in I go all out. And my concern right now, really and truly, is food. You know, and you know.
You don't have any food?
No, yeah, man. But I mean, you know, it's like, you know, when you come to them type of system, rain and thing where everybody have a lock up, you don't have enough. You know, you never have enough. But my greatest concern right now, I hope so they all stop all out, you know. That's not my greatest concern right now. I don't really have the great concern more than I hope they all stop all out.
Oh, you are
where I live, I am not really prone to flooding or any such things. The breeze are my problem. You know? I don't have a problem with the water. The breeze are my issue.
Okay. Well, where on the island are you, sir?
I am in Clarendon, you know, the upper part of almost center of Clarendon. We call it Spalding.
Is that Joshua? Isn't that where the eye of the storm is?
No, sir. It's actually, well, I didn't hear about the eye, but I know about landfall.
The eye will be passing somewhat close to Kingston, between Kingston and St. Thomas.
Right.
Close to that side, because based on the trajectory, it is basically a St. Thomas Portland storm, you know, but everybody going to get a piece of it.
Right. I want to.
I am hoping that the cool hills of Jamaica or cool higher mountains and all that will break it and somewhat subdue it, you know. Yes, the high is irrelevantly calm, and the outer bands are the problem, you know, with the whole of water and the twirling of winds. And the thing with the storm that makes it so dangerous, you know, you have some high wind speed within the storm itself, 100 odd miles an hour, but it's forward progression. It's fairly slow, you know, and that is a recipe for destruction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I mean, it's not like it just can pass. It will stand up on way, you know.
Yep.
I just hoping she not come with too much hammer and clawbar and all that.
Joshua, one question, a little diversion here. The Prime Minister is suggesting that for people to get assistance in the aftermath, they have to have an ID. I mean, Joshua, imagine Jamaica in 2025 without people don't have IDs, huh?
It is very sad.
People like that every day, man.
No, it is very sad because this appeal has been made for the. I mean, I remember during COVID, that was one of the encouragement that the Prime Minister had issued. And one mere persons up on the sideline may be saying, but me need ID if you get liquor food or liquor help. The truth is you have a lot of scammers. And even in times like these, people tend to want to prey on the system. Right? So one man may come and him get 10 pounds of flour with some rice and corned beef. And then come back and say, boy, I never get none. With ID now, you are less likely to have that. It's not that you won't have people who bypass the system, but it's less likely to happen. right? And it safeguards you. So one person don't come 3 times and get.
But can I
Say, boy,
interject
them never.
interject, Joshua?
Sure.
In the United States, the thing that them don't want to have here and is ranting against. In the United States, you can get no help with no identification. If you don't have no identification, you cannot go nowhere and get any help at all.
All right. Let me comment on that and just back you up with what you're saying. Where I live, there is a food bank just down the road. And this is a private, this is not even government food bank. Private food bank. And if you ever go down there and cannot present an American ID, you have none to get.
Yes. None to
I
get.
don't know what the big deal. Everybody want to go America and nobody want to adhere to any rules till them reach America. Why you don't want to be the law of your land? Why would anybody not have an ID in Jamaica? It's modern country, Jamaica.
In fact, I tell you something, healthcare, which should be a right. And that is just one foolish Jamaican talking right now. But healthcare, that should be a right. There's a law being pondered. And right now there's a big tussle between Democrats and Republicans, even as we speak, in Congress, where they're planning that if you are a visitor to the country and anything happened to you, whether it be through accident or natural illnesses, right? If you are not an American, then whosoever you come to will have to fund your health care for you.
Yes, I know.
Right?
People are foreign.
It is even as we speak. Right. Even as we speak, that is what is on the table right now as we speak. Right? Yeah. So, the need for ID, the entire world, is going ID. And, as a Christian, I can't. Oh, by the way, greetings to Godson. He greeted me long time. He's my richest friend from downtown. But, I can't make him call to me and I don't call back to him because I may need $1 million to borrow. Right. So, the need for identification is critical, and the entire world is going that direction. And as a person who is familiar with the words of the Bible, I am saying to you that it's unavoidable.
Yeah. May I stretch you a little bit? I mean, I know we're on the onset of a hurricane, Joshua, but a couple of other issues I'd like to talk to you about. One, that I have noted that by reports, suicides tend to be a concern in Jamaica. Are you hearing me?
Sure, sir.
Yes. What are some of the causes of this? And even at a time like this, Joshua, with a storm, this can cause a lot of stress on people. Some people may be worried about their health, their resources, their businesses, using the suicide issue as a background. Firstly, why is it that what could be causing this increased amount of suicides, and how are people to handle the stress of this hurricane going forward?
All right, so I think that's a wonderful question, and it is something that is worth a little more probing into, but I'll give you quickly. I know of at least 2 persons on your program right now that were involved in social work, right? And so those persons can give some information. However, one of the leading causes of suicidal tendencies, right? So you have predisposition and then you have situational, right? Is unresolved trauma. And traumas come in all forms. You have the SA trauma, which is the sexual type. You have those where in the single parent household trauma. You have relational trauma, so you went through a bad breakup. And then you have the whole matter of loneliness, general loneliness. You have persons, believe it or not, who suffer from loneliness, right? And as a result of that, they figured, boy, there's no way out, and so there's a sense of hopelessness, and which brings us to the next stage. There is also hopelessness, and usually when persons attempt suicide, it's because they have gotten to a point of hopelessness, and all of the things that I mentioned before can lead to that feeling of hopelessness, wherein I have this issue, I cannot seem to see the light of the end of the tunnel, and I don't know how this problem is ever going to be solved, so I can't take it anymore.
Yeah, but then
And so
this storm now, Joshua, would add pressure to people like those.
it would. If someone, let's say you owe debt, let's say you had a business that just crashed, let's say you have not seen your kids in a while, or you never did well in your more youthful years, and you live alone, so right, even those things, then there's also the matter, and this is something that I have spoken about before, and I want to specifically mention it, is the older folks who live alone. Make sure that you check on them. And if you have space in your home to kind of invite them over, once you can deal with the added person, because you may not be able to deal with it, you can invite them over just for the storm. Let them be very clear. Let them know that, hey, it's just for the hurricane and it's not a lifelong thing, because you may end up with a permanent tenant that you don't want.
Fantastic. Hold on there, Joshua. Let's see if we can bring in Ian. Ian Dawson, coming to you. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, neighbor.
Hi, Joshua.
It's like,
and Rusty.
It's like last night I was on a live. I'm here, a man make a suggestion, and he say, where the people always get food before now, and I say, stop it. And him say, why? I say, stop it. I say, because people live day to day. People buy $20 bread, $50 ketchup, and tomorrow they muscle again and live. At the plain reality. So you have to just help your neighbor, help who closest to you, look for some old people, and help who you can help.
Yes,
You have to have love in your heart and love people like yourself.
Yes,
and Joshua give you the right scenario of how you reach the stage where you don't want to take your own life, because you reach a breaking point where you see, like, it don't make sense. Life don't make sense anymore.
Yeah.
So you do that. So most people, when they reach a point, then them not seek help, Just talking to someone can change your situation with good encouragement,
Yeah. The Bible, sir, say it's not good for a man to be alone. Not good. And that is a telling statement, about the whole matter of loneliness and isolation. And sometimes we withdraw ourselves from society. We are interdependent, sir. God said that, it's not good for a man to be alone.
Yeah.
The very creator.
Maybe if you go with the Bible, you never go wrong, The Bible is like a manual for human, just like how you have a manual for your motor vehicle,
Yeah.
So you have to read and, educate yourself sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic. Don't move, Ian. USA, how you doing? USA? My
mic is
to unmute.
My caller, please unmute. Let's hear what he has to say. And good good night, sir. How you doing?
Hello, neighbor. Yes, neighbor. How are you, man?
Thanks for checking in on us, sir. Boy, we under the weather. Want some white rum?
Well, right now I having white rum as you speak.
Well, warm up in the weather here, man. My God, you can imagine the amount of white rum they're going to drink over the next couple of days.
I tell you something, neighbor. When you was talking early on, I was listening to you. I tear up, man.
You tear up?
Yes, sir. Because I know the impact what's gonna happen later on this week when that hurricane touched the land.
Yeah, so so I didn't want to say it, but I've been trying my best to stay a particular way on this program, but
you're human, neighbor. You're human.
We have to thank God for a man like Holiness, sir.
I always say that all the time.
Sir, the Gleaner reported last week that 79,000 Jamaicans are living in poverty in this country. 79,000, sir. Can you imagine? Can you imagine, sir, tonight, those 79,000 people? And we can.
I don't want to think like that right
yes,
now.
Yes, it is very important, sir, that we continue to develop our country,
yes,
to build on the successes that we have had, and to look forward. And this is why it is important that this Prime Minister be supported. Chat all they want about politics and being politics. That is the truth.
That's the truth. Yes, yes, that's it.
It is the truth, sir. Because when you look at the whole matter of the haves in this country, and there are people tonight, sir, who are battened down, couldn't care less. Their house is safe. They are pretty okay. And then there are others who are worried that their roof may come off. All societies, sir, have some amount of that. But I suspect that, or I see that what is happening in Jamaica is that gap is narrowing. See, Holiness give concrete house to poor people, sir. All those people who got social houses, sir.
Yes,
Huh? Hello?
But it get better. It get better now, because back in the 80s, they used to give away these government houses. There was wood houses. Now it's concrete, so it's much better now. I remember we was talking the other night, and I tell you,
all of these people, sir, who have gotten social houses have gotten safe houses in this hurricane, free of cost.
Yes, that's true.
Right. And the vision for every Jamaican is that he or she can live in a house that when the hurricane come, right, him can feel safer.
Yes.
Anyway, sir, thank you
with
for
this thing, neighbor.
Hold
on, neighbor. 1 second, and I'm gonna stay on. With this Heidi, they talking about. What they need the ID for to get some help
the
from
Prime
the
Minister
government?
is saying that after the hurricane, we may need to give people some assistance.
Yes.
And he's saying if you don't have an ID, you're not going to benefit.
Okay.
You know one of the difference between the People's National Party and the Jamaica Labour Party, sir? The PNP is a pork barrel party, You know that?
I'm listening.
Yes. I listen to Ian Hale, sir. A ball out say, no money now run. No money now run, sir. The government give the NWA. How much money, Joshua? Well, somebody can help me here. I think they got 200 million.
No, 400 million. As of yesterday, it was doubled. 400 million.
I can tell you this: if it was PNP in power, that 400 million would be given to, the thing, sir, is that the government is taking a different approach. So rather than succumbing to demands from the PNP for pork barrel funding, because this is a time, when, sir, the pork barrel run for PNP, they are putting the money in the agencies, giving the agency the responsibility to do it. Right? And I think that is the same thing the Prime Minister is saying. We have to account for the taxpayers' money. So when the storm blow and you want a couple seat of zinc or you want some cement, or you on some board, you need an ID.
Right, like the ID, like what you use in the general election, or like your driver's license.
Help me, Joshua.
Who issued that IDs?
Okay, so there are two kinds of major IDs in Jamaica. There's the national ID, which is used for electoral purposes, which it's one of the IDs which is applicable to electoral matters. And then there's your driver's license. Whichever of the two you have, these are nationally issued IDs. So any form of national ID that is issued by the government of Jamaica is acceptable.
Okay. My question is to you, Joshua, and I think our one general. Yes. I don't know which one of you guys was bringing up the ID thing. You guys live in the state?
One of us live in the state.
Right. Well, the person who was talking about you have to have ID to get food at the food bank.
Can I ask a question, please? Can I?
Go ahead, Rusty. Go ahead. Sure.
Why is it so difficult for people wanting to identify themselves? Why don't people want to be identified? Are we a nation of criminals? Are we hiding from something or someone? Why don't we want to be identified? Why is it such a big problem for the NIDS card, for ID, for people who want to be not to be identified? Why is that a problem in Jamaica?
What's that?
It should not be a problem for someone to ask you for your ID and you just present it, you know.
I didn't say
that is how it works everywhere in the world.
No. You're wrong, man. You're wrong. Right there, you're wrong. Because what happened at the food bank in America, I'm a Jamaican. I live in America 39 years, man. And the food bank, we doesn't have to have an ID to get food from the food bank. The food bank run by the church or the Red Cross. You doesn't have to have ID.
You realize the government business we are talking about, Bridget, we're not talking about some little guy where give people food.
USA.
Yes.
You realize that government system we are talking about, we're not talking about some little guy on the corner give out people food.
No, but when you said, I have to correct you with that. If you did
hold on, USA.
I don't the argument.
USA.
You're gone off course.
USA.
Yes.
I am the one who mentioned it. I'm going to ask you two simple questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you referring to getting groceries or a box of food? Which of the two you're referring to?
Well, grocery and a box of food is the same.
No, sir.
Grocery or a box of food?
No. I'm talking about something. I'm talking about something to eat right away. Something that is cooked, cooked meal or uncooked meal.
Like a hot meal.
Right. Which of the two you're referring to?
Well, if you go to the food bank gave you food that
USA, you know, never try to tell you something. You see, USA, this is when you live in America 39 and 40 years. They don't make it. Me don't know what you are doing in America and what you know about America, but you don't know everything. You do not know everything. And you see, I don't like people.
It's all with the state where you're living. It's one country.
So
every state, every state, we have state laws. All right. So every state is different.
Right. That is why you should not see. Hold on.
What state you're living where you have to have IDs to get food, because the food bank in the state where I live in Rhode Island.
All right. USA.
I'm in Rhode Island. It doesn't have to have an ID to get food from the food bank.
So USA, wouldn't it be more accurate to have said that where I live, that's not the case, as opposed to just broad brushing? Because that's what you did initially, which gave the impression that the information first presented was false. Anyone listening to you, the first statement that you made, would have left with the impression that, listen, this person gave false information. As opposed to saying, boy, where I live.
What state you have to have an ID to get food?
Sir, I will not disclose the state, but what I will say to you is that when you go to the food bank, if you don't have an ID, you're not getting it. That state, that particular state.
In the state where you live, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, yes, sir. I can't speak for the other 50,
Okay.
50 odd.
You only
All
have
right.
50 state, man. Okay?
Remember
The state I live in Rhode Island. I'm not.
Remember Hawaii is considered one of the states. All right. So let us not deviate from.
It's only 50 state, man.
All right. It could be 5. I'm saying that the one out of the 5 that I'm in operates differently. All right. We're not here to contradict each other or to agree with each other. We're here to present enough information for people to be able to prepare themselves adequately for the storm that's coming. All right.
Well, the storm is in Jamaica. The storm is not here.
If I may say, what about accountability? You think government will just give away things and we don't know accountability?
If you
the opposition leader will not use that against you.
If you're gonna get help from the government, you have to have a ID to get help from the government. I agree with you guys with that. But if a local charity giving away help, that doesn't need ID. That's all I'm saying.
So, sir, but it was the government that made the statement in the first place. It wasn't a local charity. So if in that case, since you agree that if it is governmental matter, then there's need for ID, I wouldn't have sought to correct the person who said it because we would be on the same page already. Right. All right.
But you know, yes, if the government gonna give help to the people they have to have ID to get it because people, if a person coming without their ID, they get stuff from the government and they doesn't present an ID. The left, they come back. You know, people are going to do stuff like that. To avoid that, you use your ID from government.
And in addition to that, as Mr. Dawson stated earlier, you do not want the opposition to use it as a political tool to say, boy, you gave to your friends. At least with an ID, you can tick off and say 50,000 people here got help. 2,000 around here, so got help 100. And at least you have the names to verify your information. As opposed to the opposition now riding it as a political tool to say, hey, they gave away this to their friends, but nobody else got. With an ID now, that information can be nullified.
All right, Joshua. USA?
Yes, never.
We are in the belly of a major disaster, it appears. You see, sir? A lot of Jamaicans are very, very concerned tonight about their safety and their well-being. And I really thank you for calling to check upon us, you know, to find out how we're doing. I really trust that you'll continue to pray for us. Eh?
I will pray for everyone in Jamaica, and I will do my best because I have my business there too. So
yes.
I hope for the best.
Yes.
All right, neighbor.
All right, man. Have a great evening. Catch you tomorrow.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Yes, neighbor.
Great, man. Joshua?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Joshua, here we are. For those persons who are joining us or just joining us.
I must stay before you go any further, brother neighbor. I'm really thankful and you know, you see the patience you have, Jano. Let me commend your feet, man. I commend you, you know. Because my fuse short body, you know.
Well. Okay, yes, all right. Yeah. You know, but Joshua, here we are now, Saturday night. Going into Sunday. Many Jamaicans are going to their beds tonight. They don't see any rain falling. There is no wind blowing. You are saying to them, don't think that this is a joke.
No, it should never be considered a joke. Not for a second.
But why is it that I hear some people saying no storm now come, Joshua? Why?
Because
why
God probably God probably whisper in them ears and never tell nobody else and tell them to keep it a secret.
Well, but you wouldn't know too. You're a man of God. You have malice with God, sir?
Me and him did fall out this morning, so I'm probably not talk to me.
No, but seriously, why is it that I hear some people saying no, you know, I went to the market, sir, and there were people there couldn't care less. Believe me, sir. Not time now call and like them tell and all type of dopey stories, sir.
Well, whilst I do agree that food has to be sold, even until now, until tomorrow afternoon, the mindset that no storm is coming is really a careless mindset. You know, we are not God, right? And God never give us any insight that he never give nobody else. He can, you know, he's sovereign. If he chooses to do so, he can. But until he says that it's not coming, then we ought to take all the necessary precautions, every single one. You know, we cannot take this thing lightly, and we should not. We must be obedient. You know what I find very interesting? I remember when Bruce Golding was prime minister. I don't know how many of you remember. And vehicles were sent on the Pedro Keys for some fishermen to leave over there.
Yes.
And they refused it. Also the same thing for Port Royal, and they refused. And when the storm got heavy, the prime minister had to use helicopter and go over to Pedro Keys because these same persons needed to be rescued. And that is the folly of some of us. We think we know more than one, the professionals, and two, we know more than God because we're God's instructor.
So you are saying, sir, listen to Evan Thompson. Follow these instructions. These are people who are trying to guide us to make the right decisions. Their information is correct.
Right. And one other thing, whilst there's never 100% certainty as to what the final result will be, where the data supports one side over the other, we go with the data. So if the data said the likelihood of us having a hurricane is greater than it is not, then go with the data, right? We don't want to be irresponsible. And we must also consider that whilst we may be agile enough to escape, should we take that position and it makes landfall and we are still agile enough to get away, our careless remark may cause someone else who may not be as agile to be complacent and end up being trapped and by extension losing their life. We do not want to be that careless with our comments. We have to be much more responsible than that.
Rusty, the Prime Minister met with the leader of the opposition today. As a known supporter of the Labour Party, how did you feel about that?
Well, I was not privy to that information until just now that you said it. But in a time of this, like this, where we need consensus on the ground from everyone, and everyone should be moving in the same accord, you know, it is a good thing, you know. Yes. I don't know whose initiative it was. I suspect it's the Prime Minister's, but this is a good thing, you know, because this storm is not a PNP storm or a Labour rights storm. Yeah, storm will clear up anything, anything in that way. You know, if you're not ready for it, you know, you're going to get knocked. Regardless, whatever color, your creed or class or race or party political wise you are. So we all should be, you know, together on this. So that is a good initiative.
Good initiative.
Yeah, that sounds good, you know.
Rusty, sure it's not a PNP storm, the storm named Melissa, you know, so if you're Sylvia, I probably can tell you.
Well, you see, right now, you see.
Ignore me, Rusty.
Well, you see, I want to tell you, you know, we have to just be focused, you know, and watchful and pray, you know. Because that's something we can't do nothing about except, you see, people talk about preparation. You can't really prepare for this thing, like seriously prepare. I mean, except for buying a little food and all that, you can't prepare for this.
There are things you can do, Rusty, because if you have your important document in a Ziploc,
if you have a safe home where you know, so like, you have a deck roof and all, like a strong building, you're basically safe, technically to some extent, And,
right. So wherever it's within your power, wherever it's in your power to make advanced preparation, your important document, your degree, your diploma, your certificates.
That is not something where we play around with, and them think there are things we always there's somewhere safe from lacking a plastic and
not everybody, Rusty. Some persons you may
about me, cause like me, with my passport and any little important document, them they always in something like safe and secure.
Right.
I just if it come to the worst, me have to just jog some and put them in a bag and move.
Right. So and that is why it's important to have them put away in a Ziploc bag in advance, because trust me, in moments when you may have flooding, you may just need to grab and run. You may not necessarily have the time to go and look for where it is. You may just have to just grab that Ziploc bag and move. I remember years ago, in the Akiwalk area of Red Hills Road, someone I grew up with and I knew very well, she was living there, and she said she was sleeping. She and her husband was sleeping the night, and she heard like a loud crashing sound. And when she looked outside,
yes,
at the back of her house is the water she see coming for her, and the only thing that she could do is jump through the front door, right? And that's what saved her from going off into the gully, right? The water came and took her house off the gully bank and take it down into the gully, the entire house with bed and everybody in it. So sometimes those are some of the decisions that you may have to make occasionally, and that is why we're saying,
well,
whatever
I tell you, you're 100% right with that, but listen, some people can be really petty, and try to be too casual about certain behavior, because me born and grow everywhere me grow as a little youth, a gully bank, Waterhouse, gully bank, Grand Spend, gully bank. You see? And everybody knows when storm season and gully get wicked, stay upon gully bank. You take up anything that is most important and essential to you, and you lift up. Saying? Because in a Gilbert, I stand up and watch my father, the house disappear in my eye, and I look on it and I still not when it move, and I look on it. So. And it took me a while before I realize that the spot me I look on. I mean, the house is dead and I look on it. And like it disappeared and my eyes so. I never shut. Gone. And when it gone, like me, I said, what about the house? Gone. And I see where you were gone to, you have to understand yourself and know, so you were gone to.
Yes.
Oh, we have to call it. As a matter of fact,
I wanna.
Hold on, Joshua. You jumping off?
No, not jumping off. I just wanted to.
We want to review and get back to that. But let's we can give these people at the time. Top Country, Violet and Frank. Let's go with Top Country first. We have Rusty and we have John. All right, let's go back to Joshua. Joshua, good night to you again, sir.
Good night again, sir.
Well, we thank you for extended time with us. Go right ahead, sir.
No problem, sir.
No.
You're the first person I hear play that Frankie Paul, and I had to research it yesterday and listen for a whole day. I never heard it before I hear you play. Believe me. You have to research
and Rusty.
As a matter of fact, to find a whole album, I have to listen to the whole album.
Rusty.
Yeah.
Same like I'm exposed my business as a boy. God should have talked in my ears, It's a past. I played for you too,
Good song you find, neighbor. It's a really nice song. A really nice song.
The Blind Genius,
I have a portion of Frankie Paul, I just added to my collection yesterday. Thank you.
Yeah,
all right. So just in continuance of it, I wanna suggest to those who live near to the infirmed, the aged, the very young, and the very poor to check on them throughout the period. You don't have to do it right throughout, but at least every 6 hours, see if you can make a check. And in the process of charging your phones, do not use it throughout the hurricane if you don't have to, by talking to this person and talking to that person, because you have to remember that in the event of emergencies, it's the same phone that you're going to be using to make the calls, and you don't want it to go away from you. I'm trying not to use the D word because of TikTok, but you don't want it to expire on you before you get the benefit of it. And for those who are calling from overseas, limit the time that you stay on the phone with the person, so that yes, you are concerned, but the longer you stay is the more of their phone life that you're using up. Right? So be careful. Do not use too much of it. Because these things are important to know and to note. I had the numbers for the era previously for the shelter managers, but I'm not finding it now. But I'm gonna go back and see if I can find them. All right. But please, folk, let us look out for each other. This is not a time for color. This is not a time for politics. We can easily get there if we want to, but we want to be at least civil. Go back to the Jamaican that we knew, at least up to Peter Phillips. That Jamaica was still good. Yeah.
Before you go, Joshua, I haven't heard from you since the elections, man. I wouldn't mind to hear how you view how things have gone.
If you can recall, I don't know if you recall that I was saying that when persons were saying 40 odd, 50 odd, I told them that I'm expecting anywhere between 34 and 35 seats.
Yes.
And persons were saying, no, man, Joshua, you're mad.
Yes.
I tell them crowd don't win election, it's votes win election. And when persons were telling me how the PNP can't do this and the PNP can't do that, I tell them it's not a one-horse race. And the PNP, you can never count them out, whether it be that they come fairly or use other means, you cannot count them out of a race. They may not win, but they're going to give you a run for your money. Even if they have to use means that are not noble, they're still coming at you.
Fear or foul.
Fear or foul. They're not going to give up. Right? And the democracy needs something like that. However, we need our politicians to be noble. And I want to encourage those who took time out, and believe it or not, I'm as serious as I can get. Those who took time out and told a lot of lies during election, a storm is coming, you don't know if you're going to live past it. Please, take time to repent, no?
Yes.
Please take the time. The time that you take telling lies on the Prime Minister and the government, please go to the Lord in prayer right now while you're still alive to get forgiveness. Right? And ask him, please, do not take me at this time, because I'm not ready yet. But have mercy on me. I
wonder if there's any one of my listeners who would volunteer to come up and say a prayer for Jamaica as we have to leave at 7:30. Apostle, are you there, my evangelist? Any one of you online willing to come up and just say a prayer for Jamaica? Oh, my goodness. I like this, Frankie Paul, but I found a gospel for you.
If you can't find any when you're done, then I'm willing, but I'm waiting on someone else.
Sure.